And per Mike Durbin, he asked if I would plug this for him. Get My Go this weekend. He's going to release all the cold opens from episodes 1.
I'm going to do that while you read.
From episodes 1 through 25, all the cold opens are going to be on there. It's a fun little video show. You can see the progression.
Gee, I wonder where they got the idea for a cold open from.
That's a good point. This format has been attempted to be replicated, but will never be duplicated by anybody, including myself or Mike or Husey or anybody. So, but I think everybody that's done that gives credit to this show.
What show is it? What show are you guys on? I mean, how many shows have you actually done?
Forget My Go? 53 or so, I think.
So he's going to put on 52 cold open straight?
No, 25. And then the next 25. One will be the next 12 or something like that. So that comes out this weekend. It's only video. But
I would assume yours are way shorter than ours, right?
No, he take.
Really?
Well, what he does is he takes. We have our listeners, that will listen to.
Much like AEW giving you fatigue, cold opens can give you fatigue too, bro. You don't want to fucking hit them with 25 10-minute segments.
If somebody hears Get My Go mentioned, they report it back to Mike or send him the clip. So the cold open is basically if we mention it. If it's mentioned, if someone sends an email to Cornette that says "Get My Go," if they want to make fun of somebody, they'll send a clip. So he kind of puts it all together, and actually, he's a really good editor. So those are fun. If anybody wants to check that out, I'll be on the Get My Go YouTube channel. Other than that, check me out at JFE.
Maybe you should be editing our show. Nothing.
No, I don't think that's a good idea. He could edit the videos for sure.
This is the Disco Puppet, and you're watching Get My Go. What the fuck is Get My Go? Only an imbecile would say that.
So Get My Go.
Yeah.
This now.
Isn't it the dumbest fucking name you've ever heard? Like, what does that mean? Get My Go.
When you first said it, I didn't understand it, and I tried Googling it. Nothing. I don't know what the fuck this is. Sounds like, is this something new the kids are saying? What the fuck is Get My Go?
That's got to be one of the stupidest lines I've ever heard in my life. Get My Go.
So obviously, I do a little more research with it, and then who the fuck's this Johnny Podcast guy? What's his deal?
He gave himself that name.
Oh yeah, and just really quick, a quick side note, John, we got some breaking news for our favorite listeners. We just got 14 million downloads. Man,
oh my god!
Yeah. 14 million downloads, and this hasn't even been released yet.
Jesus, man, I'm telling you. God,
man.
Those click farms are well worth the money.
Oh. Hell yeah, they are.
Oh, man, I'm sorry. Here we go. Somebody will probably take that as me actually saying that's legitimate. So, oh, yeah, I really did. So go play that in your feed there, asshole. Don't Get My Go.
Oh, and
moving on from that, don't Get My Go.
Okay, so if you know this, remember the show that Joe's doing now with Durbin, Get My Go,
right,
where they're making fun of the other Mark podcast.
Right, but here's the funniest part. Can I just tell you the funniest part of that whole thing? They're making fun of a guy that absolutely nobody knows. Tell him the guy's name.
It's John Wangland. He used to be Wrestling with Reality, but we buried him so deep he had to change his show name.
Okay. All right. So people are tweeting about that show. And Jeff Lane tweets, highly recommend this series. I will be on an upcoming episode.
Oh, that's going to be huge.
Okay, Jeff, did you say other things that you're doing on there?
No, I'm not going to plug myself this week. I'm going to plug a show that I'm going to be on coming up. Guys, if you enjoy castrating the marks and that type of humor, I highly recommend you check Get My Go. Search that on YouTube. It's Joe Feeney, Husey, Mike Durband. I'm going to be on an episode coming up. Absolutely hilarious show. I think if you like the humor style of castrating the marks, really like that, Get My Go on YouTube, and you can catch me on an episode in the near future.
Oh my
that should be X boring.
Jeff is a huge draw in the brand community. He's going to bring us some hits, some likes.
Check me out on the newest Get My Go with Joe Feeney, Hughes, and Mike Durbin.
What a crew.
Big mark for this series.
There's that. That's on the Get My Go YouTube channel, produced by the excellent Mike Durbin.
This is actually a show now?
Yeah.
Oh, this is the show where you bury the guy, right?
Yeah.
They do a show where they review the other show.
Yeah.
Right.
That nobody watches. I could tell that is your favorite show, isn't it? You even like doing it better than Keep It 100, don't you?
It's a lot of fun to do. Here we go.
Why do you call it Get My Go, by the way?
Because that idiot says it.
He gets my go, this kid, man. He gets my go.
He doesn't understand.
That's his saying?
He's a goddamn moron.
So then you stole his...
Yeah, to make fun of him.
That's got to be one of the stupidest lines I've ever heard in my life. Get my go.
The next one that's coming out is an entertaining one because the guy John does challenge Jeff Lane to a street fight and a fist fight in his neighborhood. So we'll see Jeff's response to that.
Wait, so the guy challenged Jeff Lane to a fight?
Yeah, he said he wanted to fight him.
Why?
He just does.
Who's the guy now? What's his name?
John Wanglund. Yeah, he thinks he's a big tough guy.
Is there a picture of this guy that we can find? Like, what does this guy look like?
He's a character, man. That's how it became so fun. People started sending us clips from his show where he'd either be talking shit on us or whoever, and then it just went from there. But
is this the guy John Wanglund that has a goatee with the little patch of hair on the top of his head?
Creepy eyebrows. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the real. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know him though.
Effeminate eyebrows. So that's Get My Go comes out every week so far, maybe twice a week.
Twice a week.
Durbin and Joe Feeney have this podcast. Jeff, just describe this podcast to the fans.
They do the show.
Yeah, but Durbin said your appearance was, quote, epic. Yeah. It was an epic.
I think he meant to say monumental.
Huge and monumental.
But that's it.
Well, he said epic. Is how this podcast was. So explain this podcast.
Yes, Husey is also on this show, and it's about the guy that. So then they ended up having issues with him. So now they do this show where they play his podcast and they do commentary over it, and it's hilarious.
They're basically doing castrating
Get
the
My
marks.
Go, by the way. Get My Go.
Okay, the game of the Get My Go is a podcast because I guess their big saying is Get My Go on that show all the time, right?
He said, the John guy said it a few times instead of Get My Goat. He kept saying, this guy gets my go, and they laughed at it, so then they named it the show.
Okay, so what they do is, Vince, basically, they do a castrating the marks of a podcast that nobody listens to. Bro, these guys are just infatuated with this project.
I'll give you a little inside information, too, Glenn. Mike had the disco puppet cut a promo on his Get My Go show.
What the is Get My Go?
I didn't know what it was. I had no idea what it was. Now I know what it is.
I'm going to I'm going to articulate things well, and I'm going to think it out, and I'm going to work through it.
The next one's from King Walsh, and the subject is the booking of Sasha Banks versus Bayley. Disco and Conan, is there a Patreon tier that I could pay to get you both to appear on episodes of Get My Go? Oh Jesus. Is this...
Okay.
Yeah, no, there is. There absolutely is.
Right. Maybe
we'll come up with a number. Yeah, we'll come up with a number. I don't even know that Wanling guy, but the show is hilarious. It's really about the worst mark of all time. It doesn't matter if you know him or not. I will pay it. Okay. The next one's from Luke Ryan, and the subject is sending people to poor booking of good talent gets my go.
Okay, let me start this little thing because this is like this mark thing that they got going on now. Let's see if we can start mentioning this. Anybody that mentions gets my go from here on out is banned.
And then to wrap up, I wouldn't be able to get out of here without promoting Mike Durbin and the Get My Go YouTube show, which is burning up.
What? Wait. That show's been banned from the mailbag, and it will be banned. 1,000%.
You're going to ban it from the plug?
It will be banned banning it from the plugs.
Can I go through it one last time? Because I wanted to tell you about the
Okay, this is the last one. Like, when they play taps at somebody's funeral? Right. Imagine taps is playing in the background because this is the last one. Go ahead.
Well, having Jeff Lane on definitely widened the listenership. Some of these YouTube videos now are approaching 600-700 views, doing very well. But it's gotten some attention, and we have some people coming on, such as Bin Hameen wants to come on the show. Bin Hameen is going to come on Get My Go, as well as Chad from the Two-Man Power Trip.
So let me see this guy Bin Hameen that does the
Conspiracy Horseman.
Conspiracy Horseman. Listen to this show about a guy that he probably doesn't know either, and he said, "Wow, that's a good show. I want to be on it."
Yeah, Bin Hameen will be doing the Get My Go YouTube show coming up. Yeah, absolutely.
No, we won't.
I swear to you, yes, because he knows that the perpetrator of all the shit talking that gets reviewed on the show, John Wanglund, once buried Bin Hameen on a show. So we're going to get some reactions straight from Bin Hameen.
So that isn't Bin Hameen asking to be on the show. That's you asking him to be on the show.
He did ask to be on the show. Get My Go with Mike Durbin, myself, Husey. We're going to feature Bin Hameen coming up. Chad from the two-man power trip. Hambone will be on the show as well.
Ooh, wait a minute. Chad from the two-man power. Who's that?
Oh, the two-man power trip show. Yeah. Chad's going to come
We
on.
talked about the last week, the guy.
Yeah, he's going to come on and tell us a story. Also coming up, Forget My Go. You can't forget Dean from Australia. Very funny.
Are people clamoring to be on Get My Go? It seems like that's kind of like there's a little.
Yeah, that's a new show now. That's a new show to be on.
Kind of like a little cult of their fans that want to, like, Jeff Lane wants to be on there. Ben Hameen wants to be on there.
Reading the comments, it's funny. People are like, I've listened to this episode 4 times. The episode comes out, it drops.
Wait,
time
out.
I swear.
4 times. People listen to the episodes 4 times.
They're going back through the catalog, checking them all out. Repeat listeners for sure. It's
maybe we should be worried about that show, DI.
Well, if you look at Durbin's Twitter, he always retweets. There's people watching it on their fucking TVs. I had fun doing it, but it's even funnier to see that it's catching on and people are enjoying it.
Do you see this show that Feeney and Durbin and stuff do called this Get My Go thing?
Get My Goat. Yeah, Get My Goat or something. Yeah.
Get My Go, Geo.
Yeah.
But all these guys are like just loving this show. Like, I guess Jeff's done it, Hughie's done it, Ben Hameen's done it, bro. So I'm like, okay, what's the fuss here, right? Okay, because the whole premise of the show is ridiculous. Do you know what the premise of the show is?
Yeah, they're making fun. They're doing mystery science theater, and they're poking a fun at some guy.
At the other guy's podcast, it was on the network that made stuff and all that. Next is from Jackie Jones. Subject: Chris Jericho saying Matt Hardy wasn't hurt. Hey Joe, I've noticed that when I do my Jackie Jones thumbs up of the week line that it seems to bother you. Am I getting your go?
Okay, wait 1 second.
We are the ones that started it all, bro. We are often replicated, but never duplicated. That goes for the show. What's it called? Get your goat. Go get your goat that Jerry was on. Oy vey, bro. That's not
get my go.
This year is, of course, as everybody knows, has just been crazy because of COVID. What it's done to sports has been crazy. It's just been a crazy year in general. But week 1 came so fast. It was kind of crazy how fast it came just because we didn't have the preseason to sit on all the time just to see, to kind of get our taste for football.
If you were getting drops for Getting My Go, you'd have a whole bunch of new drops because that show's so much more exciting.
Bro, let me tell you, here's the thing. The guy that does the show that they make fun of tried to go after the Creative Control Network.
Right.
So all the guys got together, and this is like a revenge show against the guy that tried to and bro, it's like 1 episode would have sufficed,
Right. This is like a series with mugs and shirts, and we all get together and we all pile on this one guy. And
I said to someone earlier,
play a clip, Joe. So we know putting context.
Bro,
how long is this going to last? And I said, I don't know. We meant to do as a goof one time, and now we're people keep asking. They want new episodes. I was like,
play clip.
I'm playing it now.
I'm going to I'm going to articulate things well, and I'm going to think it out, and I'm going to work through it.
Did you hear the cold open? What was that?
That's the guy. It's the show that they're spoofing. That's the show that they're spoofing.
That's him talking. And then.
But you did mention a really good point, Chris, about players like your Tom Brady's, like your Aaron Rodgers, like your Phillip Rivers, guys that have been around the game for literally some of them 2 decades or almost 2 decades.
So next was from Preston Sharp, and the subject is Lana's husband versus Dave Meltzer. On his Twitch stream a few days ago, Rusev spoke about Meltzer and said he hopes that Meltzer will, quote, burn in hell. Meltzer is an adult who thinks that wrestling is real. He has a history of monumental dickheadery. He doesn't know shit compared to stuff. Sometimes when he tweets, he sounds like he's drugged out of his gore. I get the feeling that when he's watching AEW, he's busy flogging his dolphin. It seems like when he talks about wrestling, he's always shoring up the topic to bury WWE no matter what. So basically, do you guys think that this will somehow have Meltzer bury Miro or Rusev in AEW, or will Meltzer just bend over and take up the Wanglish like he did from Booker T? He's ripping the piss. So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
You could put this guy 3 touchdowns down in the 4th quarter and tell him all of his money and his contract's on the line, and this kid's going to go in with the same approach. He's going to be cool. He's going to be calm, and he's going to be collective in there. To block Mike Durbin and Hambone, I'm just going to throw this out here, man. To block Mike Durbin and Hambone, and this is the first time I've talked to Hambone personally, but I've listened to his shows, man. We've communicated a little bit back and forth and stuff. Great, one of the nicest dudes in the world. Mike Durbin, a million times I've talked to him, man. Like,
that him in person,
on my shows. Nicest guy out there, man. If you're blocking Mike Durbin and Hambone, You are one slimy worm, man, because those are two of the nicest people that I've ever met, man. Stand up, classy guys, good guys, man. I'm not saying it because we're on Hambone Show. Anybody that knows Hambone knows it, man. He's a good guy, man, and so is Mike Durbin.
All right, so next one's from Christopher.
Is there any reason we still can't see you? But we were able to see Nick Aldis.
Yeah, I think
it's some superiority thing on your part.
No, there's something wrong with the camera, but
all right.
It'll be fixed for Get My Go. I guarantee you that.
No, we're taking a week off.
The next one is from Christopher Oliver.
Take a year off.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The subject is questions about feuds you guys missed out on and why. What's going on, K-Dog, the Superior One, GOAT? He calls me the GOAT, the greatest of all time, by the way. And Jolton Joe, the Wanglin Wrangler. My question for you guys is, what are some fuse angles that didn't happen for some reason or another that you regret the most not having done? Why were they changed? I know Hogan bitched out with Conan. Any huge or monumental fuse that you can cast light on? Thanks for reading my question, ripping the piss. Christopher Oliver. Jeff, I'm very upset with you.
Yeah, I don't like the no.
Yeah, this
clip,
is
man.
complete. You and Joe. Both of you guys completely dropped the ball with technical difficulties this week. And you know why? Well, why do you think you and Joe's camera's broken? Your audio doesn't work. Why is that?
Because
you guys, because of you guys. It's karma. Yeah. Because you guys are your whole week, bro. These guys are so fired up over Get My Go. I mean, like every week they can't win.
Yeah, that's all they talk about.
And all you do is make fun of a guy on a podcast, and now it's karma, and now he is getting
you
back.
Know what this guy,
hold on.
You know what this guy tried to do to Joe?
I'm aware what he tried to do.
Wait a minute.
The point is, bro, you guys are doing a podcast. These guys are doing a podcast every week about the guy.
Hold on, Glenn. You have now, through your own words, you have totally contradicted yourself.
Okay. I support bullying in certain situations. Next one's from Mark, and the subject is disco equals the king of podcasting. Salutations to the Superior One. Compliment 1. Your recent episodes of Lions, Tigers, Bears on Realm and Time Out on Russo's Patreon, along with your notable charity efforts with Durbin and Hughie, continually prove that you are the king of podcasting. Compliment 2. Listen to last week's episode. You ripping the piss out of that wingling Kevin Gill is still one of the greatest highlights from Keeping 100. KG seemed to be drugged out of his gore sometimes. I agree that last week's emailer that he probably flogged his dolphin every chance he could get, especially while watching New Japan. Normally you don't cast light on people like KG, but his monumental dickheadery deserved every minute of it. The only good thing that came out of him on the show was the fact that he knew how to play with algorithms. Question: what are your thoughts on Zeus and WWE with his match at SummerSlam? Did adults really think wrestling was real with such a ludicrous storyline of a movie character coming to life? Disco is the man. Congrats. That's cousin Marky Mark. Hashtag MWO for life. And also we're thinking of doing a show called Get My Go Gets My Go, where we review Get My Go and make fun of Durbin and stuff. But if he knew me, we'd get.
I mean, if he was on this call right now, he would see that your name in the chat is the Superior One.
You're right. So let's not want to talk about this.
I mean, hey, I just want to say real quick that that really gets my goat.
Oh God! Please do that, Tony.
Wait a second, Nick. I didn't think I would want to do this to you ever because you're so cool. But
Well, first of all, I'll kick it off with this, Rob, actually. My first statement on this show. What I want to make clear is that you and I think right now, are making the most of the Get My Go rub. Yeah. The great people over there at Creative Control Network, Joe Feeney, Mike Durbin, Adam Hughes. Durbin and Hughesy in particular. Durbin with putting the show together. He is one of the most amazing editors going around in this little podcast world we got going on. He puts the show together perfectly, and Hughesy has just gone to another level and has proven to me how funny he is, because he's been on fire throughout Get My Go, and Joe just that wise presence, with the humor thrown in.
Bro, Ben Hameen did Get My Go.
Oh, God.
It hasn't aired yet. It's supposedly coming out soon, I guess.
This is from Nathaniel Vaughn. He's the one that always sends in all those clips to the Russo show. Have you ever heard that for the Castrating the Mark show, Chris?
Yes, he's one of the many Russo marks out there, which, yes, I'm guilty of claiming and stating that I am a former Russo mark. But God, I learned my lesson.
What lesson was learned? Didn't Russo do a painting that he sold where the money made went to Back surgery. Didn't Vince Russo do a lot towards raising money for Christopher Martin?
Sure did.
So what lesson did he learn? You can only con someone once?
Thank you guys for listening to this episode. It really means a lot to me. Check out all of our shows on Cheap Heat and Cheap Pops. We are always bringing you new stuff daily, not just wrestling, life stuff. We try to bring you guys as much as we can, and if we find something that we think will benefit the listeners, or even stuff we just need to work out on our own, we'll definitely bring it to you guys. We are real, we are transparent, and yeah, definitely give us some likes.
By the way, have you checked out Get My Go on YouTube? Feeney's wearing a Get My Go shirt.
That's a fact.
They have a drunken Irish guy, a jack dude wearing sunglasses inside, and probably the greatest podcast network operator alive today. I tell you, these guys really know how to rip the piss and play with the algorithms, and their Wanglish is superb. I tell you, hell hath no fury like a Wangland scorned. They're usually drugged out of their gore while recording, and I'm pretty sure at least one of them flogs the dolphin. It truly is monumental dickheadery.
What else you got?
That's it. Eyes Up Here with Francine.
I know you have some other show, the Mike Durbin show, the Get My Go. Any other? Well, you can't talk about that, but any other show?
I want to hear about Get My Go.
Oh, Get My Go. Last week had Bin Hameen, of course. Very popular episode.
Give Kazoo that, please. That's again. The Russo's got his crew doing the Get My Go show now.
Did a terrific job. And then upcoming this week is Chad from the Two Man Power Trip is going to be on Get My Go.
Who is that?
Chad.
Wait, she said he does with John Paz, right? Is
yes,
that the two?
He's the co-host with John Paz. Yeah.
Okay.
And he's doing Get My Go because he had some experiences with the targets of the show in the past. He's going to tell some behind-the-scenes stories. Everyone's going to have a good time watching it. So Chad will be on this weekend.
Impact Wrestling tonight. Last night it really got my go. So
it's my go-to,
really
and you can get my go over there on YouTube. Say what's up to those guys. It was a fun show with them, castrating some marks.
This from Durbin. You want Kazoo that? He's part of the Get My Go show.
Are you liking the Alexa Bliss storyline, Durbin?
Oh, I'm sure he does. Probably loves it because women's wrestling. I think they're going to do that for Halloween.
Yeah.
I think the Get My Go crew
is going
to dress up as Kevin Owen, Alexa Bliss, and then the Fiend for Halloween, and they're going to go down when they not ring the bell. They're going to have when they ring the bell. Alexa Bliss is going to be staring at them, and Joe is going to be dressed as a Fiend, and he's going to have his fingers in Mike Durbin's mouth and giving him the what you call it. Durbin's going to be Kevin Owens.
Yeah,
actually, you're going to be Kevin. Joe, you would be a good Kevin Owens for Halloween.
Would be a good Kevin
You
Owens.
can wear the KO tank top, the shorts and stuff and everything.
I just need a
and
wig.
Durbin can put the Fiend mask on.
Yeah, I was going to say Husey would have to be Alexa because I think he's the most likely to cross-dress out of the three of us. So
yeah. All right, so let's get the next one.
Which he probably does anyway.
Yeah.
So.
But you had a funny story you wanted to share.
I did an appearance on the Get My Go show last week, and they parody some dude's podcast, right? And I met this guy. He's just a guy. He's just the Mark with a podcast, right? But it's the insanity behind the stories that this guy has. I basically had to come in and give some clarity to some of the goings on.
I need to listen because I'm having trouble following this story. But I think
so. All right. So there's this dude, right? He has his name's John. The guy's obsessed with talking about numbers, right? The numbers here, charting this and that, blah blah blah. But in reality, nobody listens to his podcast, right? Nobody listens to it.
What about you, Jeff? You got any shout outs?
I do got one. Mr. Mike Durban got me the hookup, the official Get My Go t-shirt.
Oh, God. He wouldn't dare send me that t-shirt. He wouldn't dare to send that to me, bro.
So thank you,
Mike. So they're still doing the Get My Go show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Ben was on there this week.
Oh, vey.
I know everybody knew already, but I am a blatant homosexual.
You know, I like Jeff, to believe he's my friend, but sometimes I have to drop the hammer on Jeff, like wearing what's the name of that show again?
Get My Go.
Yeah, I don't want any more promoting on this show of Get My Go.
We shut it down on our show too. As a matter of fact, we told Nick Aldis mentioned it on our show.
That really gets my goat.
Oh boy!
And we told him he's banned from the show if he ever does that again.
I'm shutting that down. I'm having a long talk with Ben Hameen.
Why did he do that show?
I don't sympathy.
In the episode that they were reviewing, it was a parody. they called it a parody. It was it was brutal. Of castrating the Marks, and then they threw Master Shoot Theater in the middle of it. So then they were doing Ben Hameen. It was hideous. It was terrible. So they had Ben on there to listen to that.
Nice.
Somebody needs to screenshot this and send this to Durban and let him know I'm promoting Get My Go on my Twitch stream.
But he started feuds with everybody across podcasting. Everyone from Joe Feeney, who we sent to this show to Creative Control, the Russo brand, all these folks across the board. He just was feuding with everyone. And I met him at a show in Virginia. He was trying to get a podcast with Dan Severn off the ground, right?
Okay.
It was terrible. But I was there for their first ever meeting. And it was basically like a meet and greet style. And that was the basis of their first ever interaction. So I had to give some clarity to the story. I just want people to go check it out if you haven't. It's very funny, and I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. It's called Get My Go.
This game's kind of boring so far. Really gets my go.
Bro, do you have any comments on the last guest on what is it, bro? Go get him.
Get My Go.
Did you?
Ben Hameen was on it,
Ben
right?
Hameen. I have to have a talk with him, bro.
What are these guys doing? I mean, these guys, bro. The whole thing is they're good. That John Wangling guy that he buried you on a podcast, right?
Right.
So these guys have decided that they're going to go after this guy. Jeff Lane was insulted about and they're going after this guy. I'm like, bro, you're making this guy more popular.
Bro, Jeff, what is it? Get My Go. Jeff wore a Get My Go t-shirt on castrating the Marks last night, bro.
Did he really?
Yeah. I'm like, you guys, we got to reevaluate.
Yeah, definitely reevaluation.
I like men. I've always liked men, and I don't feel bad about it.
Bro, you know what I was just noticing? I went on my Twitter, and there was a tweet on there promoting Conan's Patreon. I retweet it because I want to give Conan, give you guys the advertising, the publicity as much as I can. Bro, how come I never see that favor returned?
I'm not going to spam my Twitter followers with your retweeting every single thing you retweet every day. That's not how I work.
But yet you retweet Get Your Go.
Glenn, I want to formally invite you to Get My Go.
I'm not
Will you ever join us on the show?
Absolutely not. I don't listen to the John Wangler show. Don't care. So I would be absolutely not interested in Get My Go at all.
If we changed our format a little bit, you recommended that we attack Alyssa Milano and those kind of people.
I don't care what you guys do. It's just like I just am not supporting Get My Go. It's like I'm not supporting the show about the John Wangler guy's like it's ridiculous. So if you find another podcast that talked about something that interests me, I'd be interested. But other than that, no. We bury Get My Go. We bury that show every week. As a matter of fact, Nick Aldis came on the show and said something really gets his go, and Conan Kazuda threatened to ban him from the show if he puts over Get My Go. Okay. So anybody that we have on the show knows not to reference Get My Go because they will be banned. But a lot of great content, guys.
I want to mention too. Every time we bury Get My Go, I get an email from Mike Durbin thanking us for mentioning the show. So we're putting it over by burying it. I just want you to know. And Mike thanks us every time.
And I'm very happy to be gay. You all knew I was gay before, but now I can say it. I'm fucking gay.
This is the world famous Disco Inferno, and you're watching and listening to Get My Go. I don't know why you would subject yourself to this. So you want to get somebody's go, but where are they going? They never say where they're going to go. They never say where they've been. So Get My Go, hey, you're getting my go.
Now I got to mention this because it's your favorite show. You guys are obsessed with it and all this stuff you got going on. Conan doesn't like it. Disco has told me he's not a fan. Russo said he doesn't want any mention of it. Jeff Lane is talking it up like it's the greatest thing of all time. Get My Go.
In a show talking about different strange things. What a strange thing. I don't even know where to start on that.
Let's give Mike a plug for his show since he just reached. So what is it? Get Your Go. Get your go.
No, get
bro.
my go. Get my go.
You know, no, do you know this? You don't know the guy that they parody on Get My Go, do you?
I know of him. He went at me a little bit, but again, Ocho never punches down because that guy was beneath me. That guy got sore at me because I came in like a house of fire, never did this before in my life, never spoke on a microphone, and I was 80 times better than him. So.
And joining me, as always, is the wonderful brother Martin, Christopher Martin. What's up, buddy?
Just want to say that me and John, we're tighter than ever, and there ain't nobody that's going to split us apart. So you can take those pathetic efforts elsewhere. But anyway.
Bro, somebody's making the comment on here, and I'm going to read this here because you might want to comment on it because it's aimed at you. It's coming from Keeping It 100 official, and it's saying Disco Inferno really gets my go. Who's in charge? Who's doing it?
Hughesy.
Oh, that's the guy from Scotland?
Yeah.
Those guys are brutal on people, bro. Somebody sent me a clip of those guys picking on somebody. I'm like, God, bro, those guys are brutal.
Well, they pick on that John Wangland guy who does that show because John Wangland picked on you and Jeff and everybody. so they're going after them, and they picked on Gio. Their purpose is because that guy went after like the brand and stuff and everything on that they're going to go after him.
We've had so much fun with the way it's going. I think there's at least a few more episodes under our belts for Wrestling with Reality and whatever that was the initial target. And then we're going to move on to some other things. But it's become a lot of fun. There's a good rapport there between me, Husey, and Mike. Mike's editing has gotten absolutely tremendous. So his videos now for Get My Go, there's all kinds of audio drop-ins. There's videos. He's using clips from other videos. He's doing flashbacks. It's just he's really good. He's turned a goof into like a really good professional-looking show. It's, again, just like I've been saying the whole show about different things. It's wild. It's crazy that things went that way, but they did. Like people really like it. So
might as well get my go, I guess. Well, not a sexy t-shirt.
Ladies and gentlemen, go check out Ben Hameen on the latest episode of Get My Go. There's no reason why Jeff Lane should have more views than Ben Hameen, okay? Throwing down the gauntlet. Let's go check it out. Also, check out my custom-made Get My Go t-shirt that I have made. It's pretty fun. I'm just getting in on the antics there on the show. It's a good show. Go check out those guys and follow it. Get My Go.
So let's get at it, bro. What is that? Let's go get a go. What is that called?
Well, Get My Go, but
let's get my go, bro.
Hey everybody, Felicia Rose here, and you're watching Get My Go with Mike Durbin, Joe Feeney, and Husey.
As somebody who's studied broadcasting my whole life, I can't tell you how impressed I am by their presentation. It's crazy.
It's a big surprise to me. To long story short, and people loved it, and we want to turn into this YouTube show, called Get My Go, because he's big with misusing the English language as well. So instead of saying "Get My Goat," he would say, "Oh, this guy, he really gets my goat." We just picked up.
That's where it came from.
Yeah,
it's such a stupid name, but that's why.
Yeah, because I was like, "Where did that come from?"
Yeah,
now I know. Okay.
You got to pay attention. Already, I'm looking at the reflection in your glasses. Already, I see the reflection, bro.
So what do you see?
I see a screen.
Can you see the screen?
Yeah. Who got my who? Who got my go? Got My Go is on the
Jeff,
screen.
why don't you go ahead and start?
Got My Go is on your glasses, bro. You got Ben Hameen. Ben Hameen is promoting Get My Go now. I just saw on.
Yeah, I don't know why he's doing that.
I don't either, bro.
Hey, John Weidling, I don't know what the fuck Get My Go means, but if that's your catchphrase, I've heard worse, but it's pretty bad. Get My Go. What the fuck does that mean?
You wouldn't believe what a wealth of material there actually is on this, because I certainly can't. And people,
they could go on for 100 more shows.
God. Yeah.
They wanted to.
And people liked it so much that like it continued. I think it was only meant to be like a couple of times as a joke, but people were like, do another one here, do this show, or here, remember when he said this, make fun of this. And people are sending us clips and all. It's great stuff. It's a good time too.
You only focus on this one gentleman?
For him and his co-host for now. Yeah.
Okay, because I was going to say, if you ran him out of the business, you're going to run out of material.
No, they're not. They got archives.
Sell your Halloween show. Why would people want to hear this show?
Get My Go this week in the Halloween special with myself, Husey, and Mike Durbin. Hey, we're all in costume. Who doesn't want to see that? And then here's something that happened.
Wait, is this the one where he dressed as me and Disco or something like that?
Yeah, that comes out Saturday. Well, on this show, you guys might like this because it's getting a little scandalous over there. What happened was someone from inside their camp.
Which camp?
The John Wangland Wrestling with Reality camp leaked to us clips from Skype calls where he's insulting other people on his network and shit-talking us and stuff like that. So we're going to review the clips that we were sent. It's kind of like Biden's laptop. You know, all this stuff's coming out. But in his situation, we have a deep throat, if you will, a mole, who's sending us clips of these.
Besides Mike Durbin, you have another deep throat?
Another deep throat.
Glenn, the people on Twitch right now, they've got a lot to comment on concerning you. Would you like me to read some of these tweets?
Sure, why not?
Okay, Troy, 73, in all caps, cut his pay. The louse is worthless. Doc is paid by $1 for every time he pulls this shit. Bro, did he just walk off the show? Bro, he walked off the show.
He probably had to go do an interview for Get My Go. I think that's where he went.
I have come to find out what he has said in relation to Eyes Up Here in the last few days.
Oh, no.
Apparently, you made a huge mistake in keeping me when we went to the brand, and you should have gone with him, and he should have been the new co-host of Eyes Up Here when you went to the brand. Yes, that is what I've heard in the last few days. So he thinks he can drop in literally anybody's spot, and doesn't matter the chemistry we have, the relationship we have. It doesn't matter. You could have just been like, you know what, you got to tag out. I'm going to bring this random guy in who I've never talked to and never met. And he's now the new co-host.
I don't even know who he is. How can I?
Yeah, he gets pretty
so
well.
Basically, what you're selling your show is on this guy called John Wangland. If you want to hear him cuss people out, a guy that most people probably don't know,
just from the show,
and we're going to bury him for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason to listen to the Halloween show. Yes. You've sold me. I'm going to be there.
You nailed it right in the head.
There you go.
Maya was hoping to be able to get in here and talk to you about some South American politics as we got into that.
Yeah, we're going to do that real quickly. Some asshole named Mark DeBoer wants to know what we're going to think about the Rams flogging our Dolphins this weekend. I'll let you handle that. Flogging our Dolphins this weekend.
Nothing.
I could sit over there and blow people's socks away. Like when people want to be a dick and say, you know, because there's trolls out there all the time. And usually I don't engage in them. But sometimes people just get my go on things.
Next one is from Michael Durbin.
All right.
It's part of the Get My Go show.
Okay, wait 1 second.
You know.
Okay, the subject is steel supplements. Hi, Conan and Hola, Glenn. After hearing Robert Franklin's and Patreon roundtables over at Conan.me and hearing the commercial on K100, I got some of those awesome steel supplements using promo code RF10 to save 10%. The pre-workout and protein powder I got are tremendous. I would never make a suggestion as I know it would be ignored, but picture this. Conan, a vanilla cream pie handjob of the week in honor of the Scrumptious Steel Supplements protein powder. Mike Durbin, P.S. Stan the Man is number 13 in Brazil. That was very disrespectful for Mike. You know what?
But what does that mean at the end? P.S. Stan the Man. What's that?
I don't know.
Number
P.S.
13.
Stan the Man is number 13 in Brazil. I don't know what that means.
It's a Get My Go reference.
Oh, okay. We'll edit this out. Edit that out. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, they say that Trump does. What does Biden say he does? Does he say he does dog whistles or something?
Yeah.
That's Mike doing some Get My Go dog whistles.
He's whistling at them and they're hearing it. Yeah.
And the 7 people that get it, their ears will perk up, you know.
Bro, I got to tell you something, man, Billy, to get off the subject. There's this podcast, and I'm not going to mention it by name, but I noticed like they were really like bullying somebody. And I had to write to them. I literally, you know, got in contact with them, and I said, do you first of all, like you guys don't personally know this person, but I had to tell them, you guys don't know who this guy is.
Yeah. Next one's from Liam Stewart. Subject is Lex Luger's real life heat with Bret Hart. Question for Conan. I was watching the K100 clip about Nash's real life heat with Bret Hart. You mentioned in passing that Luger had heat with Bret Hart, but that darn Joe Feeney didn't press for details. Maybe he was drugged out of his gore. Your shit compared to stuff there. Wait, your shit compared to stuff there, man. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, whether you're driving a Pinto or driving a Mercedes, stop with what you're doing, stop with what you're playing. Sit down and listen to what I'm saying, and that's right. Don't fight, come together. because we in this thing forever, ladies and gentlemen. And welcome to the latest edition of Get My Go. That's right. We got that Get My Go with the flow, yo. And you know what? Life is too short. Let's love each other. And let's stop being delirious and stop being so serious and have some fun. Welcome to Get My Go, guys. And for the criticisms out there for like my buddy John, regardless of what you guys think social media wise, regardless of what you think like with podcasting, John's a good guy.
He's like, oh, I don't know. I'm just depressed. I didn't know if that was. I said, no, why don't you go read the goddamn thread, you idiot?
You don't know how to read, you fucking moron.
He probably doesn't.
He treats me like gold.
And then he tried calling me tonight. I didn't pick the phone up because I want to talk to this dumbass. I'm not going to be stuck on the phone with you for an hour wasting my time to listen to you whine and complain about your life.
He's a true friend to me.
Shut up, Christopher. You suck.
And it doesn't matter about click farms or whatever, which is bullshit, by the way. But if you guys believe that, then that's you. But when it comes to the person,
you'll be canned in the next week. You're gone in the next week, buddy. So
when it comes to the way he treats me,
when you send me your next show, I'm going to tell you that's the last one.
Guess what? John is a freaking friend.
Go do something else for yourself, man. Go back to Anchor.
And that's all that matters to me.
I'm not doing charity cases no more, man.
So I'm just saying, guys.
Shut up, Christopher. You suck.
I think Joe wants to swing on them in the nude while he sword fights Hughley and Mike Durbin and the other guy, Hambone, while they're all on swinging vines.
Like the swing on your vine.
What else you got?
All right.
And I would be remiss if I didn't bring up your appearances on the show that we all love, and that's near and dear to our heart, and that is Get My Go, led by the creative control team of the incredibly talented video editor Mike Durbin, the head in charge Joe Feeney, and really the lifeblood Husey, who's just a crazy son of a bitch. Those were fun shows to watch. Did you have fun recording with those guys?
Yeah, I did. And I remember, God, it might have been a year or so ago. I don't remember. I was talking with Joe, and I said, "Why are you giving this guy publicity?" I'm like, you're above him. You know, you're bigger. You're putting him over by mentioning him, and just ignore him. And I didn't get it. I get it now. I was wrong. Right. You know, this show is brilliant, I think.
And he would always twist his hands and yell chickens like he was choking the chicken, flogging the dolphin.
I'm the star of that show.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, he says it so like he's proud of himself.
I think those guys are getting a little too big for their britches, so Daddy's got to smack them back down.
I bet you that show's going to end up with all them arguing with each other and the show being canceled.
And then I'll have a show where I talk shit on them. They'll have a show.
It's an amazing show, and Mike Durbin is such a great video editor. How could you not love Get My Go? It's just it's an entertaining hour every week.
Rumor had it, I'm going to see if you can confirm or deny this, that the Get My Goo was coming over to Patreon, bro. Is that coming to the channel because of the popularity?
No.
Okay.
I heard a rumor you're going to change your Instagram to Disco Master GMG.
Disco Master GMG?
Yeah, for Get My Go.
I'm out of here. Not for supporting that show.
I say goodbye.
All right. Goodbye, Vince.
Goodbye.
I mean, the way Mike put stuff together in the beginning with clips from you and Vince or Disco and Conan or now he even had Chad and Francine. It's just the stuff that Mike does is fantastic, the way he intertwines it. But it's not only funny to listen to them and how they break it down, but visually it's a fantastic thing that Durbin puts together. He's very, very good at what he does.
Oh yeah, I mean I don't think he's done better work than he's doing right now on that show. I don't know if he's self-taught. Watching some of the stuff now, you think he was professionally trained at it. But I think all three of them, they're so different that they each fill a different role on that show that it fits perfectly. You know, Joe will, Joe's funny obviously, but he's more the straight man on the show with the facts. Husey, I'm laughing all day long at freaking Husey, and Durbin puts the thing together like a masterpiece. So I think that's a great team. They have good chemistry the way that they do things.
Let me ask you a question, Joe.
Yeah.
Who are the who are the regulars each week on Get My Go?
Durbin, Husey, and myself.
And do you have guests every week, or
not
just
every week?
So who has been guests on the show so far?
Jeff Lane, Ben Hameen, and then other guys that were involved with that with Wrestling
like
Reality. Rad Rob has been on there.
Who?
And
Wait a minute. Who?
I'm going to have to go through the list here. We had Jeff Yapunsik was on there as well. Don't forget him.
Who?
Who is that?
Well, he was a listener of the Wrestling with
Yeah, when we say who, it means like who the fuck
you
is
want to
that?
know? I thought we were just
right.
knowing everybody. He was a listener, like one of the few real listeners that Wrestling with Reality had, and they turned against him and started talking shit on him. So he was happy to come on and do the same. Chad, the Chadster from Two Man Power Trip, was on for 2 episodes.
What a brutal name, Chad the Chadster.
Nick Aldis wasn't on the show, but Nick Aldis did shout it out.
He didn't shout it out.
I just want to say real quick that that really gets my goat.
I think what Nick was doing is him being that cool. He kind of like flippantly like threw the term out there like in a condescending way, and you guys embraced it because Nick is cool and actually said "get my go." So like you, I think, promoted that. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that.
I went back through like Hami media groups, emails, and stuff like that, Twitter, and I did find like a introduction, like we're wrestling with reality, because I was trying to see if I could get on the show. Like, hey, maybe I've got something in here. I can be like, oh, he reached out to Hami media group, and we had a conversation.
I don't think a lot of people give Husey the credit. Like I honestly think he's a comedic genius. The way how quick stuff comes to his head immediately, he'll immediately respond to something with the funniest thing I ever heard. Like he had planned this out, but they're listening to this, for the first time. Like I really think the guy, he's got talent to be a big star in doing something funny. I hope the right person, sees him one day, because the guy's really talented in my opinion.
Hambone's been on there. Those were the high strong episodes. And don't forget the Aussie guy, Dean Broso, was on there.
Ooh.
Well, he was a co-host on some of the Wrestling with Reality shows, and they had a falling out, believe it or not. And Felicia Rose did the intro for the show this week, which was very nice of her.
Like every week, under the guise of Get My Go, you're doing like a train wreck show every single week. Is that right, Joe? Would you consider that a train wreck show, Conan? Like all these no names and Hugely and Durbin. Let me ask you a question. Behind the scenes, do you guys have creative meetings or like talk, or you just show up and you do the show?
It's different every week. Sometimes I would come in with clips. Mike does it a lot now because he does all the editing, video editing.
The name is brilliant.
It is.
Like I honestly wonder if that phrase was never uttered, and whoever caught it and said whoever said that needs to be the show name might be the business decision of the year. Like that is such a catchy name,
Absolutely.
Yeah, he said, "Congrats on the 500,000 downloads. We're avid listeners of all you guys. If you guys never need help over anything over there on your shows at any level, please let me know. We would love to help in any way you all might need help. All my best, John."
If you need help, like this is Johnny fucking podcasting asking HMG, who has way more actual legit downloads, not ones that he fucking paid for in Click Farms, asking you if you wanted help. What an asshole!
Yeah, that was August 19th of 2018. He sent that, and this was my response. Thanks for the kind words and support.
I mean, all joking aside, he produces a good show. The video, it's got music and all these drop-ins, and it's impressive. So, but
it's a good show about a dumb subject.
Yeah.
So what's for
I knew eventually people were going to hear like Feeney and them. They love it whenever I talk about Wanglin and bury his ass. So
we got to make the intro the cold open, so we got to make the cold open on the net.
That's right.
Get my go.
Yeah, that would be a lifelong dream of mine to make a cold open of. I mean, you get it just about every week.
Let's do the countdown. Let's get right on into it. And we are going to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and play.